Thousands of IRS workers are being let go, some right here in Austin. That's according to a local congressman.
Now, starting today, the IRS will fire roughly 7,000 workers around the country. The layoffs will impact employees with roughly 1 year or less at the agency. KXAN's Sarah Alsheh found out how the firings impact people in Central Texas.
In the middle of tax season, thousands of IRS workers fired. Austin is home to one of the few IRS centers in the country, so were any local employees let go? I took that question to local Congressman Lloyd Doggett.
Do you know if any local IRS workers were impacted here in Austin?
Yes, we have about 6,000 IRS employees in the greater Austin area, and hundreds of them are likely to lose their job.
Doggett brought this email with him from an anonymous IRS employee in Austin titled, quote, "Important update for managers of probationary employees."
Basically what it says is they wanted to fire everyone today, but because of some problems they have within IRS already, they couldn't, but people will hear tomorrow that they're fired and not to come back to work. Everyone's official termination date will be Friday, February 21st.
The layoffs affect probationary employees with roughly 1 year or less at the agency and largely include workers in compliance departments.
We could have delays in refunds. We'll see a reduction in enforcement, so that some people who want to evade their taxes are able to do that.
Kentucky Congressman James Comer say Democrats have used the IRS to target conservatives. These layoffs are part of a wider initiative of the Trump administration to shrink the size of the federal workforce through the Department of Government Efficiency.
We've never seen a more weaponized federal government.
Speaking to conservatives at CPAC, Elon Musk was asked about the IRS cuts specifically.
They're talking about shutting down the IRS.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz even responded to Musk earlier this month on X, calling to abolish the IRS. It's unclear how these IRS cuts may affect tax collection services this year.
I know they're keeping some people on for the returns that people get, the refunds, but whether that can all be handled smoothly with such a reduced workforce is another concern that I have.
Doggett worries about possibly more layoffs in the future.
The people that they've kept on temporarily through tax season, the feeling is that when tax season is over in the spring, they'll be gone too.
Sarah Alsheh, KXAN News.
And the IRS has roughly 90,000 employees across the country, according to the latest agency data. KXAN reached out to multiple agencies about these layoffs, including the IRS and the National Treasury Employees Union. We have not yet heard back. Digging deeper into the firings and the layoffs at this moment, there is not an exact tally, but at least more than 200,000 federal employees have been fired. These are probationary workers who have been on the job less than a year. The White House says about 75,000 federal workers accepted buyouts. The deferred resignation offers compensation through September. The president's administration is working to cut up to 10% of the federal workforce to help reduce the government's deficit. But the Associated Press reports that even if the government reaches that goal, it would still run a deficit of more than $1 trillion. And that's because around $270 billion are spent every year for civilian federal workers.